Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. South Africa completely bamboozled by India today. It was a match that we spoke about yesterday as prep for the semi-finals and the knockouts. Even though South Africa has already made the knockout stages, they are safe with regards to that at least. We're going to have to take learnings out of this to prepare us for the semi-finals. I mean, let's not get too much ahead of ourselves, even though it was a very, very, very poor performance. We have to also take learnings from this to try and move forward so that we can be better prepared for the semi-finals. Ultimately, trying to make a final would be amazing for the first time in South Africa's history, of course, from a men's perspective, although the women already beat South Africa to that final before. So let's try and dissect everything that took place in today's game. This is going to be primarily me reading out your comments because after that match took everything out of me. Completely took everything out of me. So I'm going to make this mainly about you guys. I was sitting here trying to think after this match, what am I going to say to you guys? What am I going to talk about? What am I going to speak about? And it's tough for me to put words together for today's show, but I'm going to try my best to give you guys the best show that I can possibly do. But before we get going, before we get started, let's subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to also subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. I think the Proteas should maybe read this issue. It's all about BMT and all about trying to prepare yourself for big match moments and temperament and all of those type of things, whether it's coachable, whether it's not, all of those type of things. It might be a very good issue for the Proteas to maybe read. Smash the like button on your way in, please. It's very important that you do so. If you want to support us and you want to see us continue doing what we're doing here at Cricket Fanatics, then please become a patron today. Also, comment, share, and subscribe, and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. So, without further ado, let me get straight into today's video and see what you guys have to say. As per usual, I'll give you a little bit of a review if you didn't get to watch the game. Evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with South Africa's terrible performance against India in the group stages of the World Cup. From the start, everything went against South Africa, from it being Kohli's birthday to the fan crowd just up around him performing, scoring 100, South Africa losing the toss and batting second. Everything went against South Africa today. This pitch was a pitch that was difficult to chase on, yes, but not this poor. Let's just start with the bowling first and foremost. Marco Jansen, we all spoke about it heading into this match. The nerves on the guy in the presser, I don't think it was the best decision to put him up for presser ahead of this big clash. I think that was maybe a mistake. Kind of gave away all his cards. Was very nervous, and it was clear for everybody to see. And he opened up the bowling with that same nervousness. We could see that nervousness all over him, the way he bowled, the wides, etc. It wasn't the best performance from him with regards to that opening over. And it put pressure on South Africa instantly. Then Lungi Ngidi didn't go so well as well with the opening spell. And India got off to a flyer. I mean, 62 runs in 5 overs. At 5-point-odd overs was crazy. At least when we brought on Kagiso Rabada, that's a positive for me in this game. He struck and he took the big man, Rohit Sharma, out. Although we couldn't completely nullify him, 40 of 24 balls he scored today at a strike rate of 166. Kolkata seems to be the ground that India that everything just falls into place for them. They have everything in their team, in their makeup to be able to play on that particular ground. It's best suited for India with regards to bat and ball. We did recover a bit, I would say. We got them down 93 for 2, getting out Shabnim Gill, 10 for 3. And Maharaj bowled beautifully today, I must say. I think he was the shining light within this bowling attack today with an economy of 3, 1 for 30. He really bowled really well. And Kagiso Rabada. Those were the two players that I can say stood out from a bowling perspective. Other than that, we were very poor with the ball. I mean, Shamsi going for a hell of a lot of runs, economy of 7.20. He's always going to 1 for 72. But Kohli just took this game away from us. If you look at the scorecard, other than Kohli's 100 and Suresh Iyer's 77, we kind of kept things, you could say, a little bit decently tight. But once again, the big problem for South Africa are those extras. 26 runs of extras. You might as well just we literally just gifted them a cameo. 22 wides were bowled, 2 no balls, and 2 leg byes. It wasn't a good performance with the ball. India ended up scoring 326, and on this ground, it was always going to be difficult to chase. That was always going to be the case. And all I wanted to see is a little bit of resilience, a little bit of a fight back from South Africa's point of view to see if they can get close to the total at least, because it would have been like a practice chase for us. It wasn't the case for South Africa. All out for 83. Nobody put up their hand. Nobody batted well. It was terrible. And just to get it out of the way early, I can't defend Temba Bavuma with regards to his form at the moment. There's nothing else I can say. All I have to say is that I have to now. We know that Rob is going to continue picking him, and I just have to accept it and continuously support the performance. He didn't bat well today. I think the whole approach of the chase, starting from the beginning, was poor. We never really showed what the fight that I wanted. And also, I said it so many times on shows. I don't understand why we are struggling to chase so much. If we approach the game the way we start innings when we bat first, we'll be okay. We'd be able to get close to most scores. But it's almost like we change the whole batting mentality when we chase. We start blocking a whole lot of dot balls, putting pressure on ourselves, not rotating the strike. It's just pathetic. And nobody put up their hand. Everybody is to blame with the bat today. Everyone. The batter's mentalities today was very weak. And it wasn't great at all. I mean, maybe other than that DRS decision of Heinrich Klaassen, it looked like it was pitching outside. I don't know. These DRSs look a little bit wonky and a little bit suspect in certain cases. And and this is not only in this game. I'm talking about now, generally speaking, there have been some dodgy calls when it comes to the DRS system. The balls it doesn't look like the ball tracker is tracking it, like tracking the deliveries logically, I would say. But there's nothing I can say about this batting performance. It was total rubbish. Absolute, for lack of the better word, I mean, it was crap. It was embarrassing. It was toothless. The only thing we can maybe take for positivity wise out of this is that South Africa already in the semi-finals, but at least go there with a little bit of effort. Try to get close to the score. And I think we went like overly defensive today, and with a bat, and that was the problem. Like we never looked to rotate the strike. We can see what happens when Quinton de Kock loses his wicket early. We go into our shell even more. Today's performance was pathetic. There's no other word for it, and there's no extra review that I can do to speak about this. The only thing that I can say is, if we can make this final, and India won't probably make the final, at least we know now what they offer, and we've seen them at their utmost best. Jadeja was bamboozled us completely. He took a 5 for today, 5 for 33. By no means should we have been so bamboozled by him. Put some pressure on the lads. They don't put enough. I said this Indian bowling attack, you need to put pressure on them from the get go. Rotate the strike, make it hard for them to settle in and settle down. Don't just look to defend and survive. That's the last thing you should do against India. And that's exactly what we tried to do. I mean, Aiden came in and I thought, you know what, this guy's going to take it to them a little bit. And then he went out. Mohammad Shami obviously doing his thing. We knew he was going to be a threat. But ultimately, guys, pathetic performance. Let me get your thoughts. I'm going to go straight to it and get some of your thoughts. I won't be able to go right to the top because you guys are flying in here with the comment section. Please smash the like button, guys, as much as you can. I really need all the likes I can get. It really helps the video. Let me go from the start of the show today because I won't be able to read the ones that happened before I went live today. I'm going to start with the start of the show. Pranshana said there is no fear factor for the opposition bowler as they know after De Kock, Rassi and Bavuma are going to block and Bavuma will get himself out. Yeah. Australia is playing much better cricket now. They will definitely fancy their chances against South Africa. Why can't we chase? What's happening when we chase? I think the approach is completely off. It's like we have a different game plan to our batting when we go and chase. I don't think we should change our game plan or our mentality. I think that we should bat with the same mentality as we do when we open. That works for us. When we bat first, whatever mentality we have in the side when we are batting first, that is the right mentality to go in. The way we kick on in the back end from the middle overs onwards is good enough to be able to chase down most scores. You lay a platform and allow your middle order to your tailenders to get the final runs. That should be the approach when you chase. That's what's working for us when we bat first. Why change it? Why swap it and go into your shell when we chase? It's like we go extra ultra defensive when we're going to chase a big score. It's more like we're trying to look to survive. That's more what it's looked like is happening. We can't win the World Cup by batting first always. That doesn't happen. Another failure for Lord Bavuma, man. He is below par in the World Cup. He's a real passenger in the South African team. That's the reality. Jadeja bowled Lord Bavuma 11 for 19. He is not ICC events, but everybody looked poor today. But yeah, Bavuma needs to come right. And unfortunately, we know that he's not going to get dropped. He isn't. So we kind of just have to accept it. But I can't defend him. I can't, because in the other games he at least looked good. You know, he was striking the ball well. He was finding the gap, and then he gets himself out. Today, there's nothing really that I can really say about him that really wowed me. It was a terrible performance. Samji shouldn't play for SA again. Sorry, he can't bowl on this pitch when it offers spin. Then what can we do? Ngidi is so inconsistent. Shamsi is shocking. He hasn't BMT. Can't bowl when there's pressure on. Temper should leave after the World Cup, says Sarath. Same ground. I think Aussies are going to knock them out. High time Temper takes the time off so that Hendricks can have a knock versus Afghan to keep him in form. I think it would be a good opportunity to give him a chance, to give Riza a chance. We need therapy. The ball moves a lot under the lights in India. One openers doesn't play IPL. Yes, and I knew it's going to be a difficult chase, especially the right decision today was to bat first. Put on score runs on the board and then make it difficult for the opposition to chase. And yes, it's supposed to be difficult, but it's not 83 all out difficult. It's not. It wasn't 83 all out difficult. South Africa could have at least tried to get close. That's all I wanted to see is let them trying to get close to the total, even if they didn't get to it. I don't like when South Africa loses by just falling over and collapsing. I rather want to see a fight. Like, why can't we lose like New Zealand lost to Australia, for example? Fighting, going for it, and then falling short. I'd rather want to see us lose like that than see us lose like we lost today. Yeah, that's what I just mentioned now. Shamji averages 60 against India. Embarrassing performances, Tex. Can opening with Markram and pushing down Bavuma and Rashid be a better option? I don't want to change the lineup. You either drop Bavuma and you bring in Riza Hendricks and you keep the rest the same. I don't want to see shuffling around now going into a semi-final. Bavuma is mastering the art of failing now. You can't win the ICC tournaments by losing one-dimensional team. South Africa not able to chase in ICC events, man. And top that, Bavuma always loses the toss as well. No, they had tried Bavuma at 4, which backfired as he is too slow. Sanjo was bowling to leg side ball, letting easy runs. That is the problem. We weren't bowling tight enough lines. We weren't keeping the pressure on. We, like I said, this was the most amount of extras we gave away in one match. That is the most upsetting thing about this performance today. Is that extras, man? How can you give away 26 runs in extras? That's the most symbolical thing about this whole performance. Um, One Earth, Ngidi and Bavuma is playing just for meeting target. Still, that's not the reason, guys. Let's not skew the reasoning behind this and blame everything on targets and transformation, because that's not the reason. Bavuma was averaging 71 as an opener before this tournament. He deserved a spot in this particular tournament into the squad as the captain. He definitely did deserve his spot, but he hasn't performed. So at some stage, if you want to win a World Cup, you're going to have to throw sentiment out the window and just pick your players that are best, that are the most informed. Shamsi, absolutely horrible performance in spin friendly wicket. The only answer that I can think of why South Africa performed badly is that they were overwhelmed by the atmosphere in the stadium and went into their shell, especially the batters who only defended. You know, the biggest problem for me is there was no pressure on them today. There's no pressure of a semi final. So I don't think it was pressure. Like, others think they got their plans and their tactics all wrong. The approach was wrong. With the ball, I mean, they didn't bowl aggressively enough. Janssen up front, we could see the nerves creeping into this game. He was nervous as hell in the presser, and it just carried over into this game. He was looking for swing. I've always said Marco mustn't look for swing. He has natural swing. He needs to just keep to his string, to tight lines, and bowl to the wicket, and the ball, you will find swing. The ball will swing with his action creates natural swing. Please smash the like button, guys, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet as well, please. It really helps us. This is a record number of people on during for this particular show, so please go in, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Also, guys, please smash that like button. Very important that you do so as well on your way in. It really helps. It helps with algorithms. It helps with popularity of the show, etc., etc. I don't understand people blaming on one or two players when margin is so big. You can't just blame Temba. It's not only Temba's fault. I mean, everybody performed poorly. But if you're looking at the tournament as a whole, Temba hasn't performed. You can't praise Temba just on the basis of his average without talking about any impactful innings. That also called stat padding. I mean, he did play some impactful innings leading up. We wouldn't be in this World Cup in the first place if he didn't perform in games that allowed us to qualify in the first place. Essa lost the game in the first 10 overs only when Rohit smashed 40 in 20. Seems like neither of the senior bowlers, KG Maharaj, etc., didn't came in and help ease Marco's nerves when he was bowling erratic. They had to just find a way to calm him down. Exactly. Don't be harsh on SA. India are too good for them. I mean, India are good, but India are not invincible. I mean, they are currently because they've won every single game, but they can be got at. You just need to get them under pressure. That's what you need to do. Every batter's performed in this World Cup. They are bound to have bad games. Why drop Kitsia and not Ngidi, who is bowling better? Well said, Bavuma hasn't done anything special yet in the ICC events. He just flat track bullied bilateral bully. I wouldn't be so harsh on him. Rassi blocks too much once a wicket falls in power play, and it's fatal when it's the cock. I can understand what you say with regards to the way he performed in T20 cricket, but you can't look at T20 cricket as the same thing as ODI cricket. We can see players are approaching the game completely differently. It's a completely different format. You have to play completely differently. So we can't say ICC events because this is Pavuma's first ODI World Cup that he's actually played in. Marco was nervous well before this game. It came across in the interview, and it came across in that opening over as well. India did to SA what we do to other teams: big total and keep the other team on the back foot. India are beatable. Can see when they were facing spin, Shamji didn't back Kesh up. Yeah, true. Harder to look like we are going to face Australia in the semis at Kolkata. But I think we'll have the upper hand in Kolkata against Australia, in my opinion. Especially, I don't think Shamsi will bowl as poorly as he did today against them. Shamsi was. That's the problem, man. When you don't give a player a run of games and he's sitting on the bench, and then you just call him in all the time to perform every single time, he's bound to have inconsistent games. It's bound to happen. Let's be honest, all Bavuma's runs come at home. We won't solve anything, Jungle. Other teams attack in the power play, and South Africa plays Test cricket in the power play. Hardy, do you feel anything is suspicious about how much swing the Indian Pacers have gotten compared to other teams? While they've got excellent swing bowlers, world class swing bowlers, Shami and those guys get swing all around the world when they play. So it's not like suspect, but we knew under lights in Kolkata the ball is gonna move around. That was always going to be a difficult chase when we couldn't keep them down. The aim would have been to keep them down to under 280 and then try and go for it. But the South Africa's problem wasn't that we didn't get swing or anything. The problem was that we didn't bowl consistently and discipline. We weren't disciplined enough with the ball. We bowled a hell of a lot of balls down leg and wide and etc. Like I said, 26 runs to extras. That's very poor. Regardless of the result, next game SA will face Australia in Kolkata. So SA should chase in that game too. And this time play as many overs as they can. And if Ngidi is not injured, give rest to Janssen. If we chase against Australia, then we aren't winning. SA can't chase though. All depends on the toss. Look how India approached the game. They also already qualified, yet they took this game as an opportunity to stake a claim ahead of the playoffs. While our fans were talking about it being a free hit, yeah, I wasn't. I mean, you can see my preview. Um, we could see my preview was um, all about approaching this game as a preparation for the knockouts. Any update on Ngidi's injury? We haven't heard anything yet from Cricket South Africa about it. Um, at least we do know we have. At least we do know we have some players that can come in for him. India bowling too good. Only New Zealand kind of batted against them. All of Australia, England, and now SA are hammered. Though Australia is a different beast when it comes to knockout games. Yes, they are. They are. And we need to be on our A game. But I think it will be a lot easier, I think, to play Australia than India in the semi-finals, I think, personally. I would have loved Miller trying to hit Jadeja for six over long on, but he was trying a shot. I never saw him playing. Not really sure why. Janssen is young and he will learn. He's a great talent. And yes, that's why I'm not too harsh on Janssen. The pressure shouldn't have been on Janssen. Um, when it comes to these type of games and these type of moments, give him the surety that he can that he can be, that he's calm and that everything's okay, and he can just go there and play with freedom. We want anything changing a play or two against India. We need a better plan. First and foremost, can we first just be a little bit fair and say congratulations to South Africa for making the knockouts? Because everybody, and I mean almost everybody, 90% of our fan base thought we would be knocked out before the semis. We've qualified for the semis with 2 games remaining, which is a massive feat considering what people thought ahead of this game, ahead of this campaign. Nobody expected us to do as well. Nobody, not many people. Let me say rather. I don't want to say nobody, because there were a couple of fans on here that were backing South Africa, but nobody expected us to do as well as we did so far in the tournament, regardless of whether we chased poorly so far or not. No, even batting first, nobody expected us to be able to put so many big scores on the board, and not a lot of people expected us. I should stop saying nobody. Not a lot of people expected us to make the semifinals in the first place. Khalid, we will lose against Australia if we lose the toss. That's a bad mentality to have. We shouldn't have that mentality. We should believe that we can do it. Quintercock average 32 chase RVD and Aiden 27 during chase. If you are top four, you can't be scoring chase, then you aren't winning. Lungi is probably out of the World Cup with that hamstring injury. Will we replace him with a better bowler? I also call that Khalid Lungi is definitely not fit enough for such a taxing World Cup. We saw him struggling. We thought that's why mm, we were quite on this channel. We were quite open for having a rest and rotation, but for certain players. But the coach didn't want that. He was he's very against having that. He wants to play his best team every single game. Zampa and Maxi will bowl well now that Zampa is in form. I'm not. How's Maxi doing? Is he still injured? We need Shamsi to be our wicket taking option. Maharaj did his job by keeping things tight because Shamsi locked control. Bavuma was forced to let Maharaj bowl his fault in early on. Yeah. Chatley says this is why I said SA would keep chasing as much as possible before semis. If they bat first versus Afghanistan, it'll be pathetic. Khalid, if we don't win the World Cup, new leadership. I mean, I think there will be a reset going into the 2027 World Cup. I don't think it would be a smart move to keep the same 11, the same squad, the same team, because there's 4 years between this and the next. You need to give. My thing is, we can't be just trying to win games, and then you give new guys a chance closer to the World Cup. Prepare them now. Get them ready now. Let them play competitive cricket from the get-go. After this World Cup reset, pick a new captain, pick a new squad. Let them play the next 4 years together as a unit and learn how to win. That's how we should approach it. That's how I would like us to approach Vision 2027. How will this affect the mentality of the team going forward, given the margin is enormous and we're going to play again in Eden Gardens? I don't think it will affect us. I think we need to put it behind us and bounce back. If we win the toss against Afghanistan, I think we should chase again. Put ourselves under that pressure again. 70 to 80, too many on the pitch. Two bowling was dog shit apart from KG and Maharaj. Positive is we can't really get worse than that performance. Only can get better from here. We said that after the Netherlands defeat, and we did get worse in this match. But I see where you're coming from. At least we know what India has to offer. We saw them at their best now. The main thing is not that only Temba Bavuma, captain of SA, he's also getting many memes by Indian fans. That's captain losing from fans. SA versus Australia semis at Eden, it looks like SA will need to lift their game because Australia is dangerous in knockouts, 100%. And the main take from this match is that we don't know how to chase. It seems we don't break down the chase in small targets according to the players we are facing. Exactly. And also we are too defensive. Way too defensive. Too defensive. Today's performance was pathetic. We were not even close to them. Played like a tier 2 associate team. Congrats to SA for you, Khalid. Okay, thank you. Zampa and Maxwell will be a handful in Kolkata. We are only blaming the batters. Bowlers conceded 100 runs above the pass score. No, I blame the bowlers first. Australian knockouts is like Springboks, are a different animal, 100%. Shamsi never fails to disappoint. Afghanistan has a very good spinners, so it will test the SA batters. We need to chase against them if we win the toss. Put ourselves under that pressure. Shamsi cannot do what Tahir used to do. If for one did say making a semi-final would be the bare minimum, as I want us to win the whole thing, said it from the get-go. Yeah, you were one of the fans that did. If you want to win this World Cup, we have to go believe that we can win against any team. Shouldn't be happy or sad on meeting any team in the knockouts. First of all, I never thought Proteas will be playing in the semis. So to be honest, we have overachieved. Just want luck to be on our side, and we win the toss in the semis. Shamsi must not play against India in crunch games. It's idiotic. Tahir, even though he didn't get much wickets against them, they didn't smash him. Why do you think they are bad at chasing? I think it's because of their approach. The approach is too different to the way we start games. India bat the same way when they chase and when they open. They have a certain attacking brand and approach that they try to go big in the power play and then allow the middle order to really push on. And they continue doing that when they chase as well. South Africa has a different approach to this to ODIs. We like to set the platform and then allow our middle order to tail in to smash runs at the end. That last 20 overs, we go for it. And I think we should approach our chases the same. Our manager has focused too much on being a bat first team, haven't prepared the team to do both, turned us into a one trick pony team. Aiden won the toss in 2 matches, and Temba won the toss in 7 matches. Yeah, but you can't blame Temba for losing the toss. I mean, come on now, bro. That's like really trying to make him a scapegoat of everything. I mean, a toss is luck. It's got nothing to do with skill. Australia will beat South Africa in the semis if they not improve their chasing issue because the whole world know now that SA are not able to chase in the ICC tournaments. One more main problem from Shamsi and Ngidi is that their fielding level is worse. Not seems like they are playing World Cup. How they are selected in the basis of their fitness is so poor. I'm glad we didn't pick Magala. Even Ngidi is struggling in these conditions. Quinton has hundreds chasing, and most of them come when he was looking to be positive under AB and Faf. His chasing approach is similar to Warner, which I like. Shamsi needs to improve his fielding. Had SA won today, they would be facing New Zealand, a depleted side with a lot of injuries. Cameron replacing Giri with Nokia. I don't think Nokia is fit. Still talking about past world while we being in the middle of it. Yeah, I don't think it's important to talk about the past. We need to talk about how we're going to improve now. South Africa already have mid-30s guys like Rassi, Pavuma, Miller, Riza. Yeah, we need, when we, like I said, Vision 2027 should be a reset, complete reset. Maybe one or two, maybe a couple of the players like Aiden, maybe, um, and guys like Marco, of course, Gerald, um, they will probably survive and stay around. You could maybe push Klassen a little bit longer as well. But the rest, let's find a reset button and start building a ethos in a team for the next 4 years. Will you be satisfied from this campaign if we get knocked out in the semis? Because I won't. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to win a World Cup. It's now or never. I don't agree with you that it's now or never. I think that we will find we have a lot of talent coming through the system, and there's another opportunity in our own World Cup in South Africa. I think that we can. I think we can go for it if we put the right team together. Um, it depends how we lose the semi-final. It really does. Afghanistan once couldn't chase for their lives. Doing the clinically with a bunch of players, their batting coach breaks down 10 over targets for them, and that's how we should approach it. Lazard and Andila aren't good, and Shamsi is bad. To Ngidi injuries is a big blow. The one consistent theme with our chasing is that how many dot balls we accumulate in the power play. That is one of the consistencies, and then early wickets on top of that. So that's been the one consistent thing in our chase. So obviously that needs to change. It's like logical. I don't believe India is unbeatable. Our batters are pure class. They lack the mental ability to replicate their abilities when it matters most, irrespective of venues, occasions. Australia knows how, though. Hear me out, Khalid. With the semi-final in Kolkata, how about against Afghanistan? We play with 7 batters, with Markram bowling 10 overs. We saw how good Glenn Phillips is for New Zealand, and I back Markram to do the same. We could try something like that. I mean, but we could try it out against Afghanistan. But I don't think they will, eh? Australia, not India. We know how to overcome them. Don't underestimate Shamsi after this game. He wasn't bad, though. He can do better. Yeah. Khalid, while chasing anything over 200, the opening partnership is the make or break. Yep. That's why no excuses today. I'm not blaming Temba Khalid for the toss. The fact is that he's not lucky. Winning the toss is crucial and it may be key for us to winning the World Cup. I'm 100% certain all teams will try to put us to chase. Yeah, it's a logical thing to do. Why are we talking about post World Cup? This tournament is not finished, guys. Yep. Which as a player do you think we retire after World Cup besides Quentin the Cock? Um, Seeing that you asked me that question, I think Rassi, um, I think, I don't think Temba will retire, but um, I think they will probably try. You see, it will be very smart for the first year to easing youngsters slowly, and then in your third year, start starting them so that they can learn from the guys around them. There's a lot of experience in this team. They've seen a lot together. They are not crap players by any means, and they can learn, and they are really acceptant of youngsters. So I think they will be good mentors for the next generation. So I think in the first year after the World Cup, after this World Cup, I mean, even starting now in our next bilateral series, start to bring some younger guys in and allow them to play. Because now with Quinton leaving, it gives you an opportunity to play a younger opening batter, to play with Temba Bavuma, to play with Riza Hendricks, to try and get them get things going, to flow, try to learn from them. It's a good way to transition that in. Some games when you can play an experienced opening pair and then have a youngster at three. Sometimes you can have an opening youngster with Rassi at three, so that they can be a surrounding around those experienced guys. Have a five that's a little bit younger with David Miller at six, or have a Heinrich Klaassen with a youngster at six, and then bleed them in like that. Have some youngsters and have some experienced guys so that they can learn from those guys and get used to international cricket. Don't just wipe the slate clean, throw all the youngsters in, and let them fail, and get negative. Ease them in slowly. We should have, we should already after this World Cup identify a core group of 5, 6 players that we want to bleed into this team for 2027 World Cup. Found all rounder in Janssen, who is a better bowler, who is our best bowler. Found middle order in Markram, Miller, and Klaassen. Need to find openers and someone to bat at three, and yes, more bowlers who can bat as well. Afghanistan thinking to last 190 runs win. Okay. South Africa can't chase 250 plus target on batting paradise wicket as well. That's the issue. Then how will chase 300? I don't think this was a chasing wicket by any means. Um, Easy chasing wicket, but it's not 83 all out. Like I said, you should have at least gotten close, like at least gotten to 8300. Maybe it's not now or never, but I want to see my teenage hero Quincy Cock and Miller lift the World Cup. I hope so, guys. Bro, look at Afghanistan coach Jonathan Trott. He will have a plan how to chase the certain target. CSA coach should also do the same. Stick to their strengths. Lay a foundation, rotate the strike, lay a foundation, allow your middle over to fire. Need Kotsia for the knockouts. We need a crazy guy who has the if you think you are bad, I am your dad attitude. I like that. We will beat the Aussies and Shamsi will come back. Let's hope so, guys. Support the Proteas. Afghanistan game shouldn't be seen as an opportunity to test combinations. Afghanistan are full capable of beating us, and then that may leave us facing India in the semis. We play 6 ODIs in the next 2 overs. Need to give chances to new players. Need to complete overall. Number of ODIs aren't enough for them to prepare. Even Lungingiri is out of the World Cup. I'd bring in Stubbs. I'd also bring in Stubbs straight into the team. Quinton Cock, Temba, Oriza, Rasiman Adison, Markram, 5 overs. Klaassen, Miller, Stubbs, 5 overs. Janssen, Kutsia, Kesh, KG. I'd go with that. It's very risky. Shamsi is a must against Australia, but a big no against India. I don't know what the coach and selectors' thinking process is. While we might want SA to go on and chase against Afghanistan, I have a sneaky feeling if management might just want us to have a bat first and dominate against, again, feel good factor effect won't be a surprise at all. We're having ICC events every year with T20 and T24 and Champions Trophy in 2025. We should try and bring in youngsters with specific abilities based on the format of the game. 100% agree with that. With the wickets slowing down, that won't be a bizarre 11. At least we'll bat way deeper. Hardly the Proteas lose when Man United lose. No. Happy middle ground for us fans of the both teams. What we won yesterday and we lost again. Khalid, do you think that Yanaman Malan can be written off? He may have had a tough time before he was dropped, but he was class. He was a class act, and I don't think he should be written off. No, but he needs to sort out his game against spin, particularly in domestic cricket. Our domestic spinners are even causing trouble against him. He needs to get form in the domestic level. He didn't have a good one day cup again, so he needs to get his form again, and then we can pick him again. My view is that Milan should come back into the equation for this World Cup. I don't after this World Cup. Only Maharaj, yep, like I said at the top of the show. We won't finish fourth spot. We won't face India in semi-finals. South Africa, too much depending on the cock at the top during chasing. If the cock fail, then South Africa and batters goes into shell, and then Bavuma and Rassi becomes ball blocking, ball eating machines. We all are going after Shamji just after one bad performance, guys. He was the man of the match against Pakistan, 100%. And we shouldn't go against him. We shouldn't go against any of our players. Actually, let's support him. But it's fair to criticize him when he doesn't perform well. Although he doesn't do well against India, and it's kind of he has a record for not performing against India. I meant United winning. Oh, sorry. Okay, cool. I get it. Why can't Aiden open with Timber at 4? Because you don't want to mess up your you don't want to mess up your order right now. And on top of it, Pavuma's not fast enough to bat at 4. He's not attacking enough, I feel, to bat at 4. Aiden is the perfect number 4. Would you send Markram ahead of Rassi if the cock gets out first in the power play? It could be an option. If Kung doesn't score runs, then we struggle. SA20 will help us unearth new talent, just like what IPL did to India. Our batter was looking like they don't know how to bat, especially Temba, who didn't know how to bat in this World Cup. That's not true, because Temba batted decently and then threw his wicket away throughout his games in all of his games in this World Cup so far. Today he just didn't look at all right. But he looked good and then threw his wicket away consistently. Who shouldn't get in replacement be if he's ruled out? I'd be going Ian Bosch and take a gamble. I think I like the idea of bringing in an extra middle order batter, because then we can just have Gerald play in place of Ngidi for the rest of the tournament. And then bring in an extra batter type guy. I mean, Donovan Ferreira wouldn't be a bad option, in my opinion. I would bring someone like Donovan in. Guy has X factor and can offer some spin. Bavuma is also can't play spin. I've never seen Bavuma dominating spin yet in my whole life. Does SA believe they could beat India? The pitch required 2 spinners, so no blame on the man who's selecting Shamsi. The execution was just wrong, guys. That is the problem. Korov, Bavuma can't play spin. 12 doesn't from Marco and Gidi and Shamsi. And he's perfectly settled at number 4 and provides a proper batting foil between the top order and our power eaters at 5 and 6. I agree 100%. We need to win 2 games and allow those games to be semi-final and the final. Wow, bowling was so bad today. Tristan should be the replacement. Tristan is a good option as well. It's just I'm worried about the bowling side of Tristan. He hasn't bowled enough for his franchise. Whereas Donovan has bowled a little bit more. And I just think he has a different type of mentality, Donovan Ferreira. He just things don't seem to phase him, pressure in general. He'll get himself out or he'll perform poorly, but I mean, in certain games, but it doesn't seem to be because of pressure. It will be because he did something foolish. I think SA should be flexible with their batting order, just like they are batting first. They sent Miller at 4 versus New Zealand after a great platform. God gets out. So Temba should play attacking if Quinton gets out. Every day is not the Quinn of the Cox Day, then Rassi should replace Pavuma role. Pavuma should play attacking cricket. We will be probably playing Australia at the semi-final in the same ground. Yep, Tristan also keeps. After this performance, if SA reach final, is SA gonna put some fight? That's what we need to see. That's what we'd hope to see. Getting Rohit and Kohli both out early is always key versus India. Otherwise, they win 99% of the time. SA should not read too much into tonight. Just play at your peak in the semi-finals. How did you see us winning the World Cup? Um, it, it all rides on that semi-final for me. How we win it and how we perform. I mean, I said from the get-go, I'm going to take it game by game. Hope this defeat motivates us like the defeat to Ireland motivated the Springboks. It seems like SA have two brands of cricket, one batting first and one chasing. And that's why I say keep the approach the same. Bat first or chase. Don't try to change it up when you're chasing. We have good enough middle order to turn on the heat at will. So I don't think we should change our approach when we're batting second. I've said it so many times, and I hope they listen. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos, please. Also, subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. It's all about BMT and whether it's coachable. Click on the link on the description. Support us by becoming a patron today. We rely on your patronage. Please smash the like button. I want to see at least minimum 40 likes on today's video, please. And go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. We become too defensive when Maharaj was bowling. Our fielding options weren't aggressive. We went to the slower delivery also too soon with the bowling. I mean, Giri went to the slower ball deliveries too soon. We knew Marco was nervous. Even in the presser already, he was feeling the nerves. Such a big game. What was the shot from Aiden Markram? Yeah, sometimes we don't understand why he does certain things. He tends to throw his wicket away. But I believe in the boys that they will bounce back from this. And let's go give it the semi-final our best shot and show some fight in that semi-final. That's all we can hope for from a South African unit. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you again tomorrow with another daily show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and your evening. I'm going to sleep. Peace out.